Hello friends, welcome to my channel. Today we will see a very interesting topic, leader election. First of all, we will go in details why we need leader election. In other words, I would say what's the need of a leader election, that we will see with an example, and after that we will see the concept. Okay, so let's start with this. So I'm going to take one example, okay, and I'll be explaining that example and I'll be providing the solution for that. After that, we will jump into leader election, and then I will tell you why leader election is important and what's the need of it. So let's start with the example. Let's suppose I have this application, okay, this is my application, okay, and let's suppose it's a banking application. Okay, let's suppose it's a banking application. Okay, and in this application there is a method, and here is my DB as well. It's my DB. So let's suppose a user comes, and let's suppose it's a user. So this user comes and do some transaction on this. Okay, so let's suppose there is a user, there is some amount for this user in bank. Let's suppose 100 rupees. Okay, so 100 rupees are already there in this user's account. So a new user comes and that user deposits 100 rupees. Okay, and another user, what this user, there is another user, this user also do the same thing. This user deposits 50 rupees, okay, in someone's account. Okay, so what will happen is this application will interact with this DB and will get some data. Okay, and based on that data, this will this will increment the amount in user's account, and likewise this the same will be done for the second request. Okay, so now what will happen is, let's suppose there are two threads. I am just naming it 1 and 2. Okay, let's suppose there are two threads. So first thread is trying to deposit 100 rupees and second thread is trying to deposit 50 rupees. Okay, so what will happen is, let's suppose there is a thread 1 which should let's suppose this is thread 1, this get 100 as balance of this user. Okay, so when this thread will get when this thread will try to get data from the database, so this thread is get 100 rupees as a balance. Okay, at the same time, or after means if means fraction of a second, another thread which is thread 2, okay, this thread also tries to get data from the database. Okay, so this thread will also get 100 rupees as a result. Okay, now what will happen is, this thread got 100 rupees as a balance in DB, this thread also got 100 rupees as a balance in DB. So this thread will, what thread 1 will do is, the first thread will try to update the balance. Okay, so now let's suppose this first thread tries to update. So this first thread updated the amount in database, so it did 200 rupees. Okay, so it did 200 rupees, and the second thread which also got 100 rupees as balance in the account, what this thread will do is, this thread will update the balance as 150 rupees. 150. Okay, so you understood the problem. Okay, so this is the problem that we usually face in our applications. Okay, and there is a way in Java to handle these kind of scenarios. So for this type of scenarios, we can have looking at database level, or we can have look at it and on our application level as well. So I am going to talk about application level only. I am not going to talk about database levels, just to make sure you understand the concept. So I'll be going through application level only. Okay, so now this is the problem that you have already understood. The problem is there, so let me redo this so that we can understand it in a much better way. Let me redo this and I will show you how you can achieve the functionality. Okay, let's deep dive again and let's see what we can do. Okay, so now we have a DB. Okay, so this is our DB. Okay, now what I have done is, let's suppose there is a method in our application, update method. Okay, update method. There is a user 1, this is user 2. Okay, so this user is depositing 100 rupees. Okay, this user is depositing 50 rupees, and there is a update method which updates the amount in database. Okay, so what I have done is I just synchronize this method. Okay, this update method, I have synchronized this method. So with synchronization, what we mean is we have explicitly locked the method, and if one thread has entered into this method, so other thread will have to wait for the transaction to be complete. Okay, so this is, I have just, let me write in some good manner. Okay, so let's suppose I have synchronized this method. Okay, I have synchronized this method. So now what will happen is, when thread 1 will let's suppose thread 1 will try to update the balance in DB. So what will happen is, this thread 1 will acquire a lock. Okay, and based on that lock, if other thread, the second thread, will try to acquire lock on the same method, then the thread will have to wait for the first thread to complete its processing. Okay, so in this case what will happen is, just give me a sec. Okay, so in this case what will happen is, this will try to update 100 rupees. Okay, and another thread, at the same time, another thread is waiting. This other thread is waiting for the transaction, for the first transaction to be completed, and once the transaction is completed, the second thread will try to update the balance. Okay, so in this case what will happen is, first thread has acquired a lock and other thread is waiting. So in DB, from DB we get 100 rupees as balance. So 100 plus 100, 200 will be deposited in the account. Okay, and likewise for 50 rupees for the second thread, which was trying to update 50 rupees in the account. Okay, so now when this thread will acquire a lock, what will happen is, this will get updated balance 200 rupees. So when this thread, second thread, will get, so it will be getting 200 rupees. Okay, and it will be updating the balance 200 plus 50. So the actual balance will be, in this case, 250. Instead, earlier we saw that in the first case the balance was not getting updated, and at the final result was 150 rupees only. But in this case we have seen that now the balance is 250 rupees because of the locking mechanism. So now coming to leader election. Okay, I'm just reverting this. Just hold for a sec. Okay, so now the screen is clear. So now in case of leader election, so as we know that leader election is a concept of distributed system. Okay, so let's suppose we have some nodes. Okay, and out of these nodes, so this is a distributed system. Okay, distributed system. Okay, so it's a distributed system. So whenever we would like to achieve synchronization in a distributed system, we need help of leader election pattern. Okay, understood? Let me repeat the sentence again. Whenever we would like to have synchronization in a distributed system, we go with leader election. Okay, so what does that mean is, for example, there are four instances. Okay, there are four instances of the same application, and someone tries to, this is a user, these are the two users. Okay, so let's suppose this is our leader. Okay, so only leader will communicate. Okay, only leader will communicate for the write operations. Okay, I'm just taking an example. There can be any other reasons for leader election pattern, but we, as of now, what we are doing is we are just going with our previous example. So earlier we were writing something to our database. So in this example also we will extend the previous example. So we will be writing something to our database. Okay, so in the previous example we achieved synchronization. There was just only one application, and with just synchronizing the method, we were able to achieve the consistency. And in this case, what we will do is we will have one leader out of 4 distributed nodes. Okay, we will select one leader which will do operations for us. So for example, this user initiated a transaction of 100 rupees, so this will go to this leader. Okay, this user will initiate a transaction of 50 rupees, so this will again go to this leader. Okay, so in this case the leader will come in picture, and the leader is the one which is managing all the transactions of all the write operations. Okay, so let's suppose this is not the case. Let's suppose if we have not selected leader. Okay, then what would have been happened? Okay, so for this user, let's suppose this user initiated a transaction of 100 rupees. Okay, this is our DB. Okay, this is our DB, and this user initiates a transaction of 50 rupees. Okay, got it? So as you can see, this is node 1. Okay, this is node 2, this is node 3, and this is node 4. So the first transaction is processed by node 1, and the second transaction is processed by node 2. Okay, so they will have their different locks. So in this case the problem remains same that was in our earlier example, that was in our previous example. So in this case we cannot say either the amount, whether the amount will be 200 rupees or 400 or 250 rupees. Okay, so it might be possible that this transactions get complete, and after that this transaction is in picture, and the amount will be 250 rupees. But if that is not the case, let's suppose both the transactions are in parallel. Okay, both the transactions are done in parallel. Okay, so what will happen in this case is it might happen, means I will not say what will happen, it might happen in this case that first transaction before the first transaction completes, second transaction is completed. Okay, so the amount is 150, and after that second transaction completes, so the amount will be 200. Okay, because when reading from the database, so this got only 100 rupees, this also got 100 rupees. Okay, this got 100, this got 100. Okay, so whichever transaction succeeds first, the second transaction will override that. Okay, so override the other transactions. Okay, so that is the reason why we need leader election. And let's suppose in this case we have this leader. Okay, so we will be initiating transactions to this 100. Okay, 100. So sorry, 100. Yeah, we can take example of 100 and 100 as well. Okay, so this is our DB. So in this case we can say that the data will be synchronized, and the transaction will perform one by one. So for the first, when the first transaction is completed, the second transaction will take place, and the actual amount which should be in our database, that should be reflected. Okay, so this is leader election. So in case of a failure, let's suppose this node is failed, this node is not working now. So what other three nodes will do is, the other three nodes will select a new leader. Okay, let's suppose if this node is not working, so other three nodes has selected this one as a leader. Okay, so now this leader will come into picture, and this leader will try to handle all the write requests. Okay, so this is the main concept of leader election, and the reason behind why we need leader election. Okay, why we need a leader. Okay, I hope you have understood the concept, and I will be explaining the other concepts as well in my next videos. So please subscribe, like, and share my videos, and let's catch up in next video. And one more thing, friends, so I will be explaining the design, I will be explaining the algorithmic techniques as well. There are 14 or 15 algorithmic techniques which we can apply in any algorithmic interview, and those techniques will help you a lot. So believe me, I'll be putting videos in some time. So please keep watching my videos, and thank you.